jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best, you gotta show me son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports.
What's going on? Can y'all hear me now? Hopefully y'all can hear me now. But check this out. Have y'all heard anything I said since I've been on this camp? Because every now and then these mics, man, the cord be coming out and whatever else be going on. Can y'all hear me good now? All right, cool. Check this out though. Check this out. So let's talk about the situation at hand, right? I'm not gonna go back down these roads as far as what's been said, but I'm here to remediate certain things. I was online with saying that the fight wasn't going to be announced 4th of July. None of that. None of that shit was popping. None of it. No 55-45, none of that. The holdup has been 60-40 behind the scene, which this is not the first time I told y'all that. I told you it was 60-40. I mentioned it was 60-40, period. No one wanted to take account to it. They just wanted to brush it off. I told y'all that a long time ago. It was 60-40, man. That's the problem that was behind the scene. So these individuals that's in bed and however they see fit and sold their souls, they choose to go out here and push narratives that totally go against Terrence Crawford. And they're gonna continue to do this. They're gonna make it seem like Errol Spence has absolutely nothing to do with delaying the fight when it is absolutely that. It's absolutely that. So you have people like Heavy Bag who asked me, did I listen to the Fight Hype phone interview? Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I listened to the Fight Hype interview. Yes, sir. And look, this is not the first time. Look, let me back up a little bit. If you've been hanging around this sport, boxing per se, and that's the first time you figured out that Floyd Mayweather may potentially be a shot call over there at PBC, then I have no idea how close you was ever to the situation. Because as long as Floyd been in the game, for him to tell the audience, hey, I've been in the game this amount of years, and for me not to be a shot call, if you didn't know he had some influence over there, then you probably been listening to the sport or following the sport from afar. You really never got up close and got your hands dirty, because all you have to do is show up to some of these fights and talk to some of these people. How many of y'all actually been to a Floyd Mayweather fight, a Mayweather Promotions fight? Have you been to any type of event that he's put on? Any type of event he's put on? I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all been to a PBC event, but have you been to a PBC event with a Floyd Mayweather card that went down on that fight week? Have you been there? Because if you did, you'll find a whole lot of fighters on that. It's a smaller venue, but you'll find a whole lot of fighters in there. You'll find a lot of trainers in there, everything, and you can have some good conversations, man. Some very good conversations. Perfect example, that Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney meeting. The first time when Devin had on glasses, Teofimo had on a black jacket, I was standing right behind him. I had the same footage. I was standing right behind him. That was in a Floyd Mayweather's fight card in Vegas. And you're saying to yourself, well, what was T.O. doing there? What was Devin doing? Yeah, good question. Just like I said, they come out. You know what I'm saying? They come out. When was Devin ever signed to Mayweather Promotions? When was Teofimo Lopez ever signed? I mean, Tabiti was up in there. Clarissa Shields was in there. Ladarius Miller. Man, it was too many fighters. Sam Watson and Sons was in there. It was just too many fighters that was up in there, man. Everywhere you look, it was some fighters up in there. They just weren't PBC fighters either. Sports Ball say, are you saying Spence is the weakest link? The weakest link to welterweight history. I'm going to get to that. Let me go to the your sound HD. All right, for sure. Aaron say Spence got 3 belts. Look, check this out, Aaron. All respect, bro. I don't know who you are. I know this your time coming here. Check this out. This is if me and you was in person, right? And we've been conversing about this subject for quite some time, right? Every time I walk up to you, I'm not gonna start off where we some information that we covered previously. there, Aaron. I'm not gonna do that, man. I'm much older. I never communicated like that in life. So when you drop over here, right? Understand one thing. I don't need to hear anything about how many belts Spence got. I don't need to hear that. Real talk. I don't need to hear it. You saying Spence got 3 belts, Crawford got 1. No shit. Come on, bro. No shit. That shouldn't even be a conversation right now. If you don't know who has what belts and why and who they fought right off the rip, right off the strength of your recall memory, then we can't even talk. And then you're going to say, if it's a 60-40 deal, then Crawford is ducking the smoke. I hate to say it, but that's what it's looking like. You can say what you want, but the mere fact that you're looking at 3 belts in a single division and you're not taking in consideration of Terrence Crawford's accolades and credentials of achievements that he's been able to accomplish. 3-weight champion, former undisputed. We can't just brush that on. What's wrong with y'all? We can't just look at this and say, oh, he fought a murderer's row. No, he has 2 belts from Shawn Porter and 1 of Keith Thurman's belt. The only belt that Shawn Porter wasn't able to pick up. Because let's not forget, Keith Thurman was a unified champion in welterweight at one time. He had the WBC and the WBA. You know, he scooped that off Danny Garcia and all the other shit. But check this out, though. Let's not act like he defeated a murderer's row. Let's not act like Danny Garcia was out there knocking out freaking world champions when he entered the welterweight division. Let's not do that. Let's not forget that he fought for a vacant title and he never won a belt off a champion since being in the welterweight division. Errol Spence never sit up here and was knocking heads off. He wasn't knocking heads off like that. It doesn't matter the damage that was received to these fighters. We have to identify them on both sides. If you're going to say that Kell Brook was damaged goods when Terrence Crawford got him, after he went up there and fought 3 times at 54 and came over there and lost handedly, and for the simple fact that it was a better strict performance than Errol Spence, y'all say he was damaged goods. But then after the Terrence Crawford fight, he goes up here and beat Amir Khan. But yet you'll turn around and say, well, Amir Khan won nothing either. Well, let's talk about damage moving down from 2 weight divisions under 9 months and fight a fighter who took a beating up there with Gennady Golovkin. Errol Spence has never fought those murderers' row that you want him to be in. The laboratory just don't produce them like that. It doesn't. Kell Brook had a belt that used to be Shawn Porter's. You know what I'm saying? And then Shawn Porter and Danny Garcia fought for that vacant WBC. Boom, he scooped that. And then throughout the recess scandal and debacle, you know what I'm saying? Because Manny Pacquiao never should have been in recess to begin with. But, you know, you get royalty treatment if you're an 8-weight champion and you have that name. You bring a country and everybody want to drain that turnip until it's dry to get that money out of it. So they didn't reinstate him. So Yordenis Ugas got the shit. Yordenis Ugas was never considered a world beater. He was never considered a top-notch elite. You know what I'm saying? He looked good against Shawn Porter. He did. He looked good against Shawn Porter. But he didn't win. He did not win. So he had a win against an older Manny Pacquiao, and he went in there and lost against Spence. It's a lot of ins and outs that we can, finger point to that fight. Because he was doing very well early, and then he just shut down. Why? It wasn't because no damage that Spence was giving him to his eye. It wasn't. It wasn't. But for anybody who's stepping in this avenue right here, you know what I'm saying, this WCS avenue, we shouldn't even be talking about how many belts Spence has and how many Crawford has. We way beyond that. We're talking about 2 fighters in their 30s, and you say it's the biggest fight, but yet behind the scenes, people out here putting false information into the airwaves, and I'm sitting up here trying to clear it up. Because what's worse than, being on these YTC streets, and they so polluted with contaminated information. You can say he deserves 60-40 all you want. And I'm going to tell you, you only know a little bit about boxing. Because if you don't take in consideration that both of these fighters have okay resumes, okay? Both of these fighters have okay resumes, only because fighters don't fight the way they used to back in the day. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the big names that's fighting each other all the time. So now we have these two fighters in the same division. Finally, it's done came down to 3-1. And they always say numbers don't lie, right? So if you're going to say the numbers don't lie with Errol Spence having his 3 titles, then of course that numbers don't lie when it comes to Terrence Crawford having 3 weight classes and also the belts that he collected in the 4-belt era at 140. We have to blend that in and say, really? Is it a 60-40 just because you're campaigning in the welterweight division for a fighter who's won all 6 of his fights? You know what I'm saying? Is there even an argument? Young Billy in the building, what's good? My boy Dion Washington, salute to you. Jay Smith on deck with it. It's no Canahan situation going on. It's no DK situation going on. Stop the madness, man. Stop the madness. And any one of y'all want to challenge what I'm saying today, please, all you have to do is just say drop the link. That's it. Prove to me what I'm telling y'all, that 60-40 is going on behind the scene. It's no Daniel Cunningham situation. All right? Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I don't sit up here and respond impulsively and try to drop news every day. I sit back in the cut because I'm studying other shit and I'm talking to people on the phone. I don't have to get on here every day. I haven't been to one. To be honest. All my info is used remote. I was using the Fight Hype interview in reference to everyone being better off waiting on PVZ and Showtime instead of using sources. I wasn't speaking to you directly, that heavy back. I was speaking in general to what one can learn if you're in this media business. It's a lot of people that you meet when it's a Mayweather promotion. Real talk. Like, Mayweather is just not accessible to the average individual. Like, when you see Mayweather and certain people talking to him, that's because he's granted them access. That's just the way it is, bro. That's the way it is. I've been close enough to reach out and touch Floyd Mayweather, and it's like one of those deals. Like, if you say his name and he don't know you, he won't even acknowledge. The only time he acknowledged anything I said was when I was in San Antonio, and he was walking out to the ring, and Gervonta Davis was fighting Leo Santa Cruz. That's the only time I ever spoke to Floyd. That's it. Do you think the fight will happen? I'm keeping it alive. I'm keeping it alive, Greg, that the fight will happen. I'm keeping it alive. You know what I'm saying? Dundada, what's good? I haven't seen you in a minute, brother. What's good? Arrows pound for pound, but all this heavy lifting is a facade. His entire career was built up by PBC in the hardest fight. We didn't get a rematch, but they didn't want to bring that up ever. Look, are we and speaking of rematches, are we truly talking about rematches between these two and we can't even get one? So both of these fighters have declared a short number of fights as far as their retention in the welterweight division. You know, Bud Crawford's on record saying he has so many fights left in his career as a whole, right? And then Errol Spence said he only had 2 more fights at welterweight. So this, whatever fight he has next, will be his second fight. Hold on for a second, man. Y'all hold on for a second. Yeah, I'll be right back. Hold on for a second. All right. Um, that was somebody. That was your people, your PBC people too. Let me see. Juice on deck. Salute to you. The Spence versus Crawford is setting a bad precedence for future big fights. Okay, let me get back to what I was saying. So we talking about both of these fighters has declared a quota that they plan on filling. Okay, Bud Crawford seemed more direct in talking about the remaining window that he has left in his career. Errol Spence was talking about welterweight. All right, he was claiming that he only has 2 more fights at welterweight, and this would be the second fight, whoever he chooses to fight. Now keep that in your thought process, okay? Sir Senior, what's good? Trap Minute, no audio. That's because I said I'll be right back. y'all don't be paying attention. I said I'll be right back, man. I received a phone call. Gerald said fight stall because Bud bad business decision pricing himself out 60-40 is good at 140. So I'm pretty sure if it wasn't you that we mentioned this earlier, okay? So if it was you earlier, right? I'm not going to keep going back and forth about people saying the same thing. I'm just going to time you out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to time you out to block you, bro. Because you kind of wasting my time if the same information is being retreaded on here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's you or anybody else, but no, it wasn't you, Greg. So it was somebody else. But check this out though. You can say that Bud is pricing themselves out. This is one thing that should be banished out of the language, from the language of people speaking on fighters. You can never say that someone's pricing themselves out because you're not splitting the ropes, nor are you in the gym when they're going through blood, sweat, and tears in that ring. You know what I'm saying? The only reason pricing themselves out is even up for topic is because you have this itis, you have this contagiousness that's on YouTube where people want to act like they're a part of the negotiation process. Physically, you want to act like you're a part of the negotiation process. You go around here and you listen to these different channels, and you get conditioned. You get acclimated, conditioned, acclimated. And then you come over here and say the same shit all the time. You say the same stuff all the time. He's pricing himself out. How can you say the man is pricing himself out of anything if you don't know both sides? What is EJ doing? What is EJ pricing himself at? If you can't tell me what EJ is pricing himself out, I'm asking you to stop coming over here remediating the same information. Do better. You got to do better. Period. You have to do better, man. They trying to give Crawford a slave contract like they did Haney. Hey, they trying to have this man sign on 60-40 in one of the biggest fights in boxing. Peep this out. In one of the biggest fights in boxing. So this is why I say that Errol Spence is the weakest link to welterweight history, because you hear individuals like Floyd Mayweather at one point in time in his career, he said he made a compromise, and then you hear recently the Charlo will sit up here and say sometimes you need to be the challenger, you need to humble yourself, take less money, and for me, I'm looking at it like, okay, so why should the burden be placed upon me to take less money when I put time and effort into this sport like everybody else? And if you look at Charlo, who said this, right? He hasn't accomplished more than Terrence Crawford. That's Mel Charlo. He hasn't accomplished more than Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't understand. He doesn't know whether he's gonna move out of 54 or stay in 54. And there's plenty of other people who has recognized Terrence Crawford as potentially being the winner out of him and Errol Spence fight. But what we can't deny is Terrence Crawford has been on his shit. Errol Spence has been on his shit at welterweight. Terrence Crawford has been on his shit and moved up divisions. That cannot be expunged as if it never existed. It cannot. You can't sit up here and just omit all of it, erase it. like it never happened. And you only want to focus directly on the 3 titles that Spence collected recently. That's not the way it works, people. That's just not the way it works. Because if the numbers don't lie, you'll be able to count up the amount of world championships that Bud Crawford has. You know what I'm saying? What he did to get them. And then you do the same thing for Errol Spence. But the reason why he's the weakest link to the welterweight history is simple, because he's unwilling to take that risk to fight Bud Crawford. He's unwilling to take that risk for the money to be right, to step into the ring, because he know if he lose something at this point in his career, if he lose those titles for the undisputed welterweight, he's going to have a hard time going up to 54, picking up another title. Like I asked somebody early, who would Errol Spence beat in the top 5 of super welterweight right now? Super welterweight division, who would Errol Spence defeat? I'm just asking for Errol Spence. It don't have nothing to do with Crawford. I'm just asking this because people are looking at it as if he really wants to do this in a hurry. Like his prestige and his honor and everything people know him for, all the heavy lifting that he's been through, the deltoid work, you know what I'm saying? The biceps bulging, holding up those belts, is happening welterweight. This man is in his 30s. Errol Spence is in his 30s off a car accident. You truly believe that he's trying to go to 154? You truly believe that he feel comfortable with where he's at right now in the same mindset as Terrence Crawford? I'm gonna tell you, I don't think so. Because he lose those belts. That's the money tree that Al Heyman has right now with Errol Spence. Errol Spence is connected to Jerry Jones. It's a money tree. It's a lifeline right there. It's a lifeline going on. So y'all gonna tell me, right? Now peep this out too. Y'all gonna tell me he lose the belts, he's still gonna be fighting in the AT&T Stadium with no belts? Who is he gonna be fighting? Who is he gonna be fighting? You saying he that much of a megastar that he's gonna fight in AT&T with no belts? With no belts, he's gonna still fight beneath the umbrella of Jerry Jones with no belts. So if you don't believe that, so what's next for your boy? Because he's unwilling to take this risk with Terrence Crawford. He's unwilling, y'all. Y'all might sit up here and try to put all that fill somebody's damn gas tank on this YouTube shit with toilet water, right? And I'll be there to my man. I wouldn't do that because that car gonna run like absolute shit. You know, you putting toilet water in, it's gonna goddamn run and smell like shit now. You keep on filling people's gas tank up with the bullshit, and this stuff is not playing out in front of your face like they talking about. But you tuned into the channel, you commenced to participate in spreading the rhetoric, and none of this shit came to fruition. 4th of July came and went, and they was up here talking about that shit was gonna be announced. Bullshit, false lies. 55-45. I sit back and I got dang, hey, I just watch. 55-45 is different from 60-40. I told y'all that months ago that they was trying to get 60-40 behind the scene. But they getting up here, Crawford, he's being investigated. Oh God, Crawford, he wants $30 million and he's willing to accept. Look, they said 55-45 was signed. If 55-45 was signed, why is there conflict on 60-40? Somebody's being lied to. 2 ways, the long way. Where are these people getting their info, man? 55-45, but yet you can't figure out the guarantee money? If they agree with the 55-45, why can't you come up with why can't the guarantee money be agreed upon? Let's just say both of them want 7 to 10 mil, right? 7 to 10 million, and Crawford's not agreeing to the 60-40. This is one of the biggest fights in boxing. The biggest fight. They talk about the biggest fight in boxing. And there's no compromise? Like, so both fighters can placate the financial reimbursement. It's no compromise from the so-called fighter who's attached to PBC and they're attached to the network, and Terrence Crawford is a free agent. You can't maneuver through that. You can't bring Crawford into the dance the right way so you can make this fight happen. Somebody's not willing to take the risk. Somebody wants to keep them belts so they continue to have that Jerry Jones support. Because I can't see Spence going to the dang. Because you got to look at it. You have to look at it like this. Wasn't he a champion? The first fight he had in AT&T, that stadium, he's a champion, right? He's been a champion ever since, right? So he don't have belts no more. How many fights you think he's gonna get in that arena? How many people are coming to see Errol Spence off the strength of his persona, bravado, machismo, and his notoriety in the sport of boxing? You give me the allocation. Somebody help me out. Who's gonna come see him in Texas? In that venue? He'll be right back at the training center. Who's coming to see him with no belts, bro? Y'all have to understand it's layers to this shit. He loses his belt with Terrence Crawford. Crawford can very well say, you know what? Fuck it. I'm moving up to 54 and vacating. When he vacate the titles and there's no rematch clause, Errol Spence has absolutely no access. All he can do is try to fight for titles he already had. Lord knows he don't want to do the heavy lifting again. He don't want to come in here and do no heavy lifting. You think he's gonna go to 154 like that? Snap pop. You think them hiring a nutritionist so he can make 147 easily, right? Why was that? Why was that? Why all of a sudden you needed a nutritionist? Did you have a nutritionist with Danny Garcia? Why all of a sudden you needed a nutritionist and they said you was locked in? And look, even when they said, he was locked in for Danny Garcia, DJ come back around and say he was only 40%. You take the 40% and you add the other 60% because he was good to go when he stepped in there with Adidas Ugas, right? So you take the 40% and add the other 60%. With the nutritionist. And I'm not saying you're not going to go in there and get touched. You're not going to have a glove in your mouth. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is the way he looked in there with Adidas Ugas, having already fought Danny Garcia, he didn't look. I've been on record as saying that he didn't look healthy to me. He didn't, man. Y'all wouldn't know what that means. Y'all don't know, man. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about, man. For real. Y'all don't want to accept it for what it is, man. Now look, we would be speaking differently. Real talk from WCS. If I'm talking about the Errol Spence before the accident, that guy who walked through shit, who didn't care, who smiled every time he got touched in the face. If we was talking about that dude, the dude that didn't laugh at everything and anything during the interview for no reason, when he was considered, the truth, man down. If we talking about the one before the accident, then I have a whole different conversation. Because I'm saying to myself, like, yeah, that's an absolute tougher Errol Spence. It was, bro. Real talk, truth be told. That's a tougher Errol Spence, the one before the accident. But the one after accident, I'm not convinced. And I hope he doesn't stay in the sport that long. I'm not convinced he's 100%. I'm going off all the experiences that I've had and motorcycle racing, extreme shit, seeing people lose their lives. And I'm talking about with helmets on, to the point where you have a human being who's been ejected from a vehicle and people are up here acting like, hey, I just want to put this behind this. You can't put it behind you. He can't put it behind him. He's not the same. And truth be told, I don't want to see the dude end up like Jerry McClellan. All because you got fans out here thinking, oh man, just have another fight. He's still this, he's still that. His team know how he is. Arrow knows what he goes through when the cameras ain't rolling. It's tough to sit up here and face a detriment like that and recover 100%. It's tough, man. It is absolutely tough. And what's more tough is the individuals that see it for themselves with their own eyes, right? This is absent of dilated pupils. These people are looking at that shit clearly. They see he ain't the same fighter, but yet they get on here and continue to talk as if you're speaking on Errol Spence before the accident. That's as honest as I can be. If we're talking about before, it's a different story because that Errol Spence, it's a lot of shit he didn't care about. He'll walk, he'll get punched in the face, he'll laugh, and he's coming to take your organs out. The one after, obviously there's some conditions that's going on. Obviously, there's some conditions. He may be able to come in here and win these fights. But I'm telling you, in my heart of hearts, he don't want to go to no 154. Arrow is trying to keep these welterweight belts as much as possible. If they can frustrate the shit out of Terrence Crawford to the point where Terrence leaves and go to 154 and vacate that WBO, then I guarantee you Spence will be fighting for that WBO belt immediately. Immediately. And you know if he get that WBO title, you know what's going to be next? He's going to fight somebody at welterweight to defend the titles. And it's going to be in Texas. Don't say I didn't tell you. Young Billy say Arrow is getting the same money as Bud on the fight. Stop the rhetoric. That's not what I'm hearing. That's not what I'm hearing as far as, behind the scenes on what's being pushed. You know what I'm saying? If they, like I said before, everybody have their sources. This thing is becoming one of those shows where you have the instruments and you have the dancers, you know what I'm saying? A couple of monkeys here and there, some orangutans, some elephants, some tigers, some goddamn hoops of fire. It's becoming a carnival, man, a circus. People say they have sources and go out here and put out both ass information. And then they don't want to look at it like, okay, is it true or not? The listener, is it true or not? Because to be honest with you, we can't release the sources. They say off the record, we really can't release them. But when you sit up here and put percentages and dates, the fight's going to be announced, you didn't go back and apologize to your people. You didn't go back to the person who told you that bullshit, that the fight was going to be announced on 4th of July. You didn't say, hey, what happened? I thought the fight was signed already, 55-45. Nobody can come in my chat and tell me anything about this negotiation. Nobody. Because who I talk to, I'm not worried about who you're talking to. I know who I talk to. I don't even take my time and effort to go out here and cultivate and plant seeds out here in the YouTube. No, it's no reason. It's just like going to a what they call it, a landfill and trying to plant a garden. It's just trash everywhere. Oh, this would be great. Boom, let's put some seeds down on there. Dude, that's my mentality. That's the way I think of this shit. Why are you going to go plant seeds in a landfill, dog? Look, you're not coming on here saying the same thing, Ben. You're going to get your feelings hurt, bro. I'm not going here to argue back and forth and get off topic and all that. Your main intention is to come over here only when you see a topic about Errol Spence. And then you come over here based off what you've heard from other dang channels. You don't have any connects to speak to somebody out of promotion or on a team or anybody close to the situation. You just want to come in here and argue and over talk nobody. You're not recognized, bro. You straighten up your act, cool. But I'm not about to deter my audience by going back and forth. I had the OG on here last time, and you wasn't even listening to anything he was talking about. That's one of the OGs. So you want to talk about deal breakers? You have no idea what you're talking about when it comes to why the deal ain't being made. 60-40 is absolutely a deal breaker as far as the fight being finalized. Absolutely, among other things. Don't sit up here and cloud the air talking about 55-45, and that shit is not even close. We can sit up here and put up obstacles all day long and make it seem like it's Crawford. Y'all don't know that already? Y'all smart. Y'all smart now. You don't know that all the information comes out that Crawford. None of them are talking about Spence on what he's asking, what he's want. It's all directed towards Crawford. It's all in the direction of Crawford, y'all. Y'all can't see that. Y'all don't never take a time. Exhale. So what is Crawford asking? I mean, what is Spence asking? Do you know? Well, I don't know what Spence asking. What is Spence asking is guarantee money. I can't disclose that. But you know about what Errol Spence is asking? You know, 30 million. He asking 30 million. Now he asking 25 million. He's being unreasonable. Come on, man. Bob Arum said 9 to 10 million apiece. That's reasonable at this point in time where we at. Because look, Alfonso, if it's 9 to 10 million apiece, and you factor in their PPV, because I've been on record saying Crawford should ask for more than that. And I'm still on that. I'm still on that grease, man. Because this is the biggest fight in boxing. Coming off $100 million deal they was trying to set up with Canelo, right? We're talking about they're acting like they cannot sit up here and pay higher than 10 million. I was against it. I'm still against it. I think Crawford should ask his worth. Period. Regardless of the seats and all that, we're going off what you've accomplished in your career. We're going off being on the pound for pound list together. Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence is on the pound for pound list at the same damn time. Crawford's guarantee money was just several millions below the 9 or 10 million. And you're trying to tell me that's all for the biggest fight in boxing? So Fonzo, you're trying to tell me if someone was able to get guarantee money close to this 9 or 10 you talking about, and he's not a PPV star as they say, who was smarter? Oh no, they're gonna tell you, Alfonso, they're gonna say, well, guess what? Oh, he's not with Top Rank no more. That was just them overpaying him. That's why Bob, they'll come with the same shit. That's why Bob said he lost enough money to buy a house. Yeah, you know the story, right? Yeah, I do. So you're gonna go off a man who negotiate guarantee funds to a man that's independent now, free agent, and he's gonna accept 9 million, just a little bit of million, and he did that fighting basic fighters defending his WBO title. He got that just as a WBO champion. For him to fight now for undisputed again, he only takes several more million than he was getting guaranteed money at Top Rank. Makes no sense to me, my brother. It makes absolutely no sense to me, man. They keep making up pure foolish and lie all the way, man. What's going on, L-Dub? How you feel, bro? Is easy PBC never get wanted to fight from the get-go? They got 50 mil for Canelo, but not 20, 30 for both. It's easy PBC never get and the fight from get-go. They get 50 million for Canelo, but not 20 and 30 for both. Let's see. Nah, that couldn't be. That couldn't be. Whoever, the Ben situation, because yeah, you do be on other channels. So, all I'm saying is I'm not gonna pay you any mind by dropping a link because you don't know how to listen and you go all off topic arguing about something to make it personal. We're talking about the topic at hand. I told y'all the reason why I feel that Errol Spence is the weakest link because Mayweather told you he has influence in what goes on in PBC too. He's closer to Al Heyman than Errol Spence. I can promise you that. The amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has made Al Heyman, I can guarantee you, I believe him when he say he speaks to Al Heyman. I believe it 1,000% that he speaks every day. I believe it. I absolutely believe that. For him to finally come out and say, if you think I'm not a shot caller, then you obviously don't know boxing. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been in the game for quite some time. He's letting people know I'm a shot caller and you should pay attention. He said, if the fight's going to be announced, I'm going to announce it. You think they won't let him do it? They think they won't. Look, you think PBC won't let him drop that shit? And regardless if it's on Fight Hype or not, who cares? The only people that's really sitting up here, they want to know one thing: the official announcement that the fight's been made and when the fight date. That's all we want to know. I don't care about how much money they're getting paid. All I want to know is the fight date, the venue. That's it. The fight date is official and the venue. That's all I want to know. That's it. I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want to hear about the money because the money has nothing to do with me. That shit can come out 90-10. That shit can come out 90-10. If Errol Spence was getting 90% and Crawford agreed to 10%, that's on them. I will have questions, of course, but I wouldn't be sitting up here tripping, going to sleep, goddamn with a headache and feeling some type of way if Crawford took 10%. I wouldn't. Just like when I found out, the Devin contractual situation, I said to myself, they have a plan. They have an itinerary, an objective as to why they signed that contract. And people's like, oh, that's a slave deal. Yeah, it's a slave deal. But at the end of the day, the Haneys know that Devin had to be the one to step in there and win the first half of the Aussie double. And guess what happened? They did. And guess what happened? No one ever accomplished that feat in boxing. No one has ever had that many belts in the sport of boxing. Period. From the franchise all the way down. No one. No other fighters had it, bro. But the only thing about it, they didn't get paid the worth, the value of a fight of that magnitude. Even with Cambozo, it was still a grand fight because it's for undisputed, for everything, all the marbles, man. It was an undisputed fight. And the wild part about it is that looking at this welterweight fight right here, it's been spoken on for years upon years while other fights surrounding this division has been taking place and unifications have been completed. Seriously, we're real close to seeing the bantamweight division become completed. We're real close. We're real close to seeing now Artur Beterbiev fight Dmitry Bivol for undisputed if it takes place. That'll be 2 more divisions on top of the 4 that has already taken place. We had 35-40, 54 and 68. Now we might have 75 and 18. And we still can't get this? And y'all want to keep on putting the blame on Terrence? Y'all want to continue to put the blame? And we've had 4 divisions already and 2 on the outside, 6 divisions potentially. We'll unify for undisputed before we get the welterweight division. And you're trying to say it ain't PBC? It's not all about money, 60-40? If 60-40 is a problem for Terrence with no rematch clause, if it's the biggest fight, biggest, if it's the biggest motherfucking fight, you trying to tell me you can only come up with 10 million per fighter? A measly 10 million? Look, check this out. Caleb Plant took home more than that. And he only had 1 division. He defeated Jose Uzcategui. One freaking division. And y'all went up here complaining about Caleb Plant when the fight was delayed. He had the IBF. Canelo had to go see that man, and he was paid. Matter of fact, what promotion was Caleb Plant with again? So if Caleb Plant was able to get that much money, why can't Terrence? Why can't Terrence get his worth? And he's a three-weight champion, former undisputed. Caleb ain't never been undisputed. No one can say Caleb is a bigger star than Terrence Crawford. Stop the madness, bro. Stop the madness. If Caleb can get 10 mics, how the hell Terrence Crawford can't negotiate for 15, 20? Why? Why, man? Y'all was hoping that Canelo come back, to his apartment and show y'all love again after the fight. No, he dipped on y'all ass. He dipped. Timothy Smith came out early this year. Y'all know the deal. And y'all continue to sit up here and blame Bud Crawford. Stop it, man. D-Ray Promotions on deck. What's good? What's good, man? He said Floyd got so much pull at PBC, and then why he didn't announce the Danny Garcia fight with Jose. Who's trying to announce that shit, though? Floyd, if you don't know by now, Ben, Floyd do big things. Why? What benefit is it for him to announce Danny Garcia and Jose Benavidez? Nobody's really trying to see that fight. Come on, man. Danny Garcia is coming off. How many now? He lost to Sean Porter. He lost to dang Errol Spence. Who's trying to see that, dog? And Jose Benavidez is coming from a weight class higher than what he's going to be contending in a close fight. L-Dub say, hopefully Spence can give the fans an update on Crawford on Showtime this weekend. He will be there to support his fighter, Frank Martin. He pretty much understands what's gonna be there waiting for him. It's gonna be a microphone. And I'm almost sure we're gonna hear the same shit we already heard. That's all. The last time y'all must forgot when they said they put him in front of the mic. And Errol Spence is like, hey, is there any way that we're going to hear, ever see you and Terrence Crawford? That's big news. What's even bigger news is Canelo, fighting Canelo. He just totally avoided the question and talked about Canelo. And he's a 47-pounder. You would absolutely get your career canceled. You are done if you was to move up damn near 3 weight classes and fight Canelo. He would destroy Spence. But look, Canelo got respect for Spence, man. I don't even think he'll put him in that situation. For real. I think he'd be nice and move around. For real. I think Canelo wouldn't go in there and knowing what he knows now, he'll probably stop him. But he wouldn't go in there and just try to bludgeon him and goddamn give him that damage that will leave him stretched out in the ring like James Kirkland, like Amir Khan. You know what I'm saying? They know what's up. Listen to what I tell y'all, man. This man ain't trying to take no risk from 47 and 47. He ain't trying to take those risks and lose those belts. Ask these individuals on these channels, what happened when Errol Spence loses his belt? Is he still going to be fighting in Texas in the AT&T Stadium? Because they tend to think that's the case. I tend to go against the grain and say it ain't happening. So they're going to try to keep those belts as long as possible. And fighting Bud Crawford is not a lifeline that you want to play around with. That's not a lifeline you want to play around with, because potentially it could be Spence's last fight. And I'm not even joking around with that. Real talk. I'm not even joking around. It could be his last fight. But see the positive aspect between these two is that deep down inside, it comes off of me. They respect one another. Crawford is a different type of individual when it comes down to, being a man. You know what I'm saying? A man who takes care of his family, first of all. That's a man's man to me. He take care of his family. He provides for his family. Then he go out here to work and he makes sure he takes his job serious. That's a man's right there. I think even Crawford will look at Spence and say, I understand what happened to you. He wouldn't even go full blown, like he's fighting life or death in there. Because, if I had to take a guess, the way they say that Terrence Crawford, he's not the smartest fighter. He don't use all his tools. I truly believe he'll stop Spence without using all his tools, man. I truly believe that. If he's been winning this much in his career, and it's without using all his tools, those same tools should be enough to go in there and fight an Errol Spence Jr. and win by knockout. Because Terrence Crawford is not your Dennis Ugas when he gets you hurt. He's not your Dennis Ugas. If y'all are refusing and y'all in denial with that, cool. I agree. Hey, it's cool with me. It's cool. I'm not going to lose no sleep, man. Just don't send no DMs. Don't come whining. I'm just telling you, it's a situation that's going on that y'all try to put to the side and act like it don't exist. It's active, goddammit. Somebody prove me wrong with the 60-40, man. Somebody prove me wrong 60-40, and someone prove me wrong when it comes to Errol Spence potentially not moving up to 54. Who are you gonna beat at 54? Charles Conwell? Charles Conwell will easily defeat Errol Spence. Easily. He going in there with bad news? Who is he gonna fight? Sebastian Fundora? Sebastian Fundora, dog. Sebastian Fundora will potentially stop Errol Spence, man. It'll be a good fight because Errol loves going to the body. But the damage up top, it would be similar to what Erickson Lubin took. You're talking about a person who loves going to the body and has a jab, but what is that? What sense does that make against the towering Inferno as tall as he is? You have to you have to switch up your whole training camp and learn how to jab higher. You know what I'm saying? And hit a higher target. If you're going to the body, you have to make sure you pay attention to those sneaky ass hooks that freaking Sebastian Fundora has. Those uppercuts he loved to land on the inside. I don't think he's healthy enough to be at 154. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. For real. Don't do it, man. Who do you want at 54? You know what? Let me help y'all out just a bit, man. Who in the top 5 do y'all think Spence can beat right now at 154? Who, man? I think Jermell Charlo stops Spence. Real talk. I already told y'all the game plan. When he has the belts, I already told y'all the game plan. No one wanted to respect it because I told y'all ahead of time. And you know what? Y'all don't want nobody predicting and prognosticating something that you didn't come up with. But I said Errol Spence should move up, fight Charlo, win the belts, and then they fight in the rematch, and he get his belts back. That's one loss on Spence's record, but yet it puts him as a two division champion and gives him more content, more criteria to work with as a future Hall of Famer. First ballot. You know what I'm saying? Unified at 47, undisputed at 54. Jermell Charlo, he's getting older. He becomes 2-time undisputed at 154. I told y'all the plan. Okay, 54, bro. Look, 54. Who ass he whooping? His best bet might go to Tony Harrison. I think Tony Harrison outboxes him. I don't know. Tony Harrison lose focus, but Tim Tszyu, Charles Conwell, you know what I'm saying? They got Danny Garcia up there at WBC at number 5. Kudos to him, man. Kudos to him. Who in the top 5 he messing with? Who? I definitely don't want to see him in there with Carlos Ocampo again. At 54, that might be a whole different situation now. You know what I'm saying? Because Carlos Ocampo fought him before the accident. Hey, big shout out to Mr. Gumbo once again, dropping that $10 super chat. WCS Media, appreciate your support, my brother. Always say salute WCS. They kill me with that slave contract talk. When some of them work jobs and get underpaid and won't leave the job. Damn, that job 475. Man, you absolutely true. True to the bone with that. What's that song? Bad to the bone. Hey, man, you true to it. That's why I don't get into the aspect of saying that's deserving. Well, what do you get off? Y'all don't understand. Boxing is the hurt business. Like, have y'all interviewed these boxers who have slurred speech? Do you know the tone? Have you spoken to boxers even that fall? Look, even in the service, man. Fighters who fall in the service most of their time. The same way. Have you spoken to these guys, man? They live a different life. Have you been interviewing a fighter that start to snap on you for no reason? Have you seen when fighters have situations domestically outside the ring and you just look at them and say, oh, they know better? No, they're fighters, man. They're boxers. You just can't look at, oh, man, he didn't take that much punishment in his career. What about the sparring sessions? These cats go around to different gyms and take punishment, man. Take freaking punishment. And you get cats on this YTC talking about, oh, well, he don't deserve that. Man, if I was a boxer, man, I'd be saying, fuck all y'all. I'm talking about the ones who sitting up here telling me what I don't deserve, man. I'd be like, fuck all y'all, man. You know how my body hurts? You know how what headaches I go through? What shit I have to experience in my downtime? You know what I have to really buckle down and focus on, during my off time? I gotta prepare myself to go to the gym. I gotta get right. Come on, man. Shout out to Jamel Herring. We all seen that Jamel Herring, it was about time for him to retire. But shout out to the Warrior for going in there again, man. But appreciate that super chat there, Mr. Gumbo. Always, my brother. Retro boxing and documentaries. What's going on with the blood boxing in the building? Salute to you. This is a good question. Did Spence say that he wants 60? 60 has been the number for quite some time now with who I was speaking to. And I mentioned this months ago. The 60-40 was what was going on behind the scene, and that Team Crawford did not want it. Spence was talking about 60%. He was talking about 60%. It shouldn't look. When I say 60%, people get all happy. Yeah, you saw what was in the chat. 60%. Yeah, that's what he deserved. And he deserved that. He deserved that. Terrence deserves 40%. I said 60-40 a long time ago. And I speak to these people and they say it's still a 60-40. It's still a 60-40. That's that's one of the hangups. That's one of the big drawdowns to this fight. So when I hit 55-45, I don't sweat it. I say, okay, cool, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll speak on 60-40 whenever I feel like it. It's just collecting the data from reputable individuals. And when I choose to talk about it, I will. There's no need for me to come out with 60-40 when they're saying that Crawford was agreeing to 45, right? So that benefits Crawford 45%, 5% more. You see where I'm going with this? Like, they trying to make it seem like that, okay, yeah, he's getting 45%. That's close to 50%, so that's good. He's accepting it. When behind the scenes, it's 60-40. It might be a little minute. No, that's money, bro. That's freaking money. So whenever this damn situation, concludes, because from what I'm hearing, they still in negotiation. They still in talks. That's what I know. They're still in talks. People's up here talking about the fight supposed to be announced. It wasn't shit announced. and y'all didn't go and apologize to your audience for saying some bogus ass shit. You know the fight wasn't gonna be announced July 4th. We knew that. I just hope they make the fight. I don't care who get what, but I also can't tell another man his self-worth. Absolutely 1000%. You know what I'm saying? My whole argument in this, my gripe to these two individuals is I keep hearing the language. The language says it's the biggest fight in boxing. The biggest fight in boxing. The biggest fight in boxing. But yet we want to fight for pennies? They weren't saying that Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant was the biggest fight in boxing. It just was one more belt left for him to get. And Caleb got paid. So therefore, you trying to tell me just because, we want to calculate the numbers, and they want to sit up here and talk about Errol Spence does more numbers than Terrence Crawford and all this other bullshit. At the end of the day, man, you have to go in there and negotiate and appease both sides. Errol Spence haven't did anything so glorious to the point where he basically outbalanced the accolades for what Terrence Crawford has been able to accomplish in his career. It doesn't work that way. Now, if we're talking about a single division, man, we can go single divisions all day long. But both fighters have undefeated records. We have 3 belts to 1 belts. Those are numbers that we know. But when it comes down to it, Terrence Crawford has an undisputed division. He's been there, done that. He has 3 weight divisions. He's higher on the pound for pound list. You cannot sit up here and omit that from your thought process and act like it doesn't have any value. It absolutely does have value, bro. Y'all have to recognize it as such and just be patient and let these people negotiate. I think the YTC has done a disservice to one of the biggest fights in boxing. Like I said before, it's so contaminated that the outside looking in, these people don't know what to sip on and what not to. They just think everything's fucked up and gonna leave their stomach hurting. I don't want to fuck with none of that. I don't even know which channel is saying what, who to believe, this, that, and the other. You're telling people the fight gonna be announced the 4th of July, and we're on the 6th, and we still haven't heard shit about it. WCS, as a boxing fan, I feel like a lawyer and accountant sometimes. He deserves 80%. Look at his sales, etc. Quite frustrating, to be honest. This is the way I see it with all those sales. Those sales are not raw numbers when they strictly try to place those gate and PPV sales solely on one person. You cannot do that. You can't sit up here and do that, and you won't do it. You can't do it. You can't say Errol Spence is in there fighting his shadow. You can't say just because it was in Texas, he brought majority of the people there. Come on. We're gonna act like Mikey Garcia. For real? We're gonna act like Mikey Garcia don't have people in Texas. We're gonna act like he didn't live close to Texas. So Mikey Garcia, once again, he becomes the invisible man when it comes to Errol Spence. The first PPV they did up there, Mikey Garcia, they say Errol Spence did the numbers. And this is where it becomes asinine, y'all. It becomes asinine. You want to get these people Alisane. You want to get them checked up real quick, man. You want them to pop the cranial cap and say, hey, what's going on in here? Shit. You've been talking stupid on YTC. I need to let's see what's going on in here. Let me see. They have to go in there and take out some shit. They have to do an annual cleaning. Because we're not totally understanding why people are sitting up here acting like Errol Spence stepped in the ring himself. Mikey Garcia was a 4-weight champion. He had the Mexican fan base. It sounds good to the lead up, but yet when the numbers come in, they say, hey, look what Errol Spence did. He was in Texas. Look what he did. It wasn't just him. It was Mikey Garcia. And that is one of the highest numbers that he had because he had Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia was his dance partner. Sean Porter was on the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? And then he went back and he fought Danny Garcia, bro. I know Danny Garcia was a long way from home, but still, he had that Latino fan base. Are they talking about the numbers with Yadina Zugas? Cause come on now. Did we hear the numbers of Yadina Zugas? Because when Terrence Crawford numbers came back, they would say from 2.5 maybe to 27.5. That's it. They only sold 27 PPVs. Yeah, that's it. That shit was so goddamn manipulated, man. So biased. Like, you gotta understand, the highest number Spence did was when he was in there with another popular, notable fighter in Mikey Garcia, formerly unified at 35, came up from 35, and they really felt that Mikey had an opportunity. So how can you just eliminate Mikey from being a person of interest in that ring to say that Errol Spence brought all the damn numbers? It's all because of him. That's asinine to think that way. That's one dimensional, man. That's deficient all the way around. You look at it. It don't make any sense, bro. What's going on, Smoke? How you feel, bro? Yeah, there's no outliner here. Out. If these guys are their own promoter, then why can't they promote the fight themselves and go directly to a broadcast or streaming service? Well, we know for a fact that Terrence Crawford isn't his own promoter. Terrence Crawford is not his own promoter. Why would he's gonna spend the money and go out here and do all the walking and talking? That's a lot of work to do. He's not with a promoter, but he's not going up here under TBC Promotions. You know what I'm saying? You got to have money. You got to be able to sit down and talk and negotiate. Now, when he left Top Rank, people was like, before that, oh, he should leave Top Rank. He's on the plantation. He should do this, that, and the other. He leave Top Rank. Oh, man, you're stupid for leaving Top Rank. Now you definitely ain't going to get the fight. You need to just go over there to PBC and take whatever they give you. When I hear my people say take whatever you give, it just sits all wrong with me. You just take whatever they give you. It don't matter. Humble yourself. Shut up. Sit down. Learn how to be a challenger. Take less money. Some slave shit to me. So they wanted him to just go lay at the mercy of the PBC and take whatever number is absolutes in some slavish type talk. And we all know that shit wasn't going to happen. But now they want to switch it up and say, oh, he didn't land the fight because it's no investigation going on with Terrence Crawford and Daniel Cunningham. I'm putting it out there. It's no investigation going on with Terrence Crawford and DK. I'm just letting y'all know that. I'm not going to go to war with people over information they choose to put out. I might make my comments here and there, but when I really choose to talk about it, I'll let my voice be heard. It ain't no investigation going on about that. You think they just started investigating him? They didn't just start investigating Daniel Cunningham. They've been trying to find out this dude. It's been out there. You think all the freaking promotions or anybody that had business dealings with this guy, it's not on record? It was business. What was Crawford trying to do? Business. What they're trying to say, Fury allegedly had more than business. He was, it was somewhat like friendship. It was more on a personal level. If they have you congregating with that person, then they take that as a personal relationship. You have dealings outside of the boxing ring, this, that, and the other. But just because Terrence Crawford was looking for an advisor or whatever the case may be, or some type of, entity that potentially, help him get that big fight, what's wrong with that? That's business, man. Boxing business. Forget about everything else he has going on. It's been pretty good stories put out about mob ties being associated to boxing. gang affiliation being associated with boxing. I mean, we shouldn't jump. We shouldn't jump into windows and everything. Causing self-infliction because of this one little fight that we waiting on. That's supposed to be the biggest fight in boxing history in this era. But yet and still, people are talking about a fighter should take 7 million, 10 million. If he was getting that damn guarantee money at Top Rank, who in their right mind to sit up here and just take that minuscule, that minute type money, them pennies, you know what I'm saying? Them pennies in advancement for the biggest fight. You trying to tell me the man can fight 6 fights at welterweight on a promotion, right? And the biggest fight in boxing, he's just supposed to just get a little small pay raise? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I know you've been on fries, right? We want to promote you. All right, we want to give you a promotion so you can feel a little bit better. The grease won't be popping on you as much. You go from fries to flipping patties. That's cool. It's going to be a 3-cent raise in your paycheck. You should see it. Give it a week, and then the next week you should see it, in your paycheck. You cool? We're going to take you for fries to burgers. Now, you're still going to get burnt here and there, but at least you're moving up the chain. And you used to clean the toilets, and now you got down, on fries, and now you're going to go flip the burgers. All right? You don't have no questions, do you? All right, cool. That don't make any sense to me, bro. The 4th of July, who said that shit? Plenty of people that blood. Plenty of people. And my whole intent was if they wasn't going to it's out there on this YouTube shit. All them channels that was talking about the 4th of July was gonna be announced. If it wasn't for certain people talking to me, because I said that I was gonna put names out there, but what they told me was damn true on why you shouldn't mention names right now, because it will deter from what's going on in YTC and the purpose of where we're trying to go with the fight. You know what I'm saying? Because it would have turned into something else. Because those individuals talking, it was supposed to be announced July 4th, like that was the shit. Like you talking to somebody in the promotion, and that's what's gonna go. No, this shit didn't happen, bro. Don't come back, question mark posing and say, hey man, everything changed in life. They changed the date, and then nothing I can do. No, you knew this shit wasn't gonna be on the 4th anyway. I'm still waiting and praying. Damn, dog. As a fan, I'm mad. I've been waiting for years. But as a fan, I'm going to keep waiting because nothing is in my control to make this fight. I know my position. I know my position too, bro. You know what I'm saying? The only thing we can do is speak on it. But when you speak on it with bullshit ass narratives, man, it just fucks up the whole streets. This YTC shit, it just fuck up the streets, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can't, when we talk to these people in these promotions, they don't want to put themselves out there with exposure. They will let certain people know what's up. What's going on, Silent King? What's good? They'll let certain people know certain things. But when somebody, is making it a point to say, okay, man, you know what they putting out here. Yeah, I know that bullshit. I know. Well, what about the 55-45? Man, don't believe that bullshit. That shit still in talks is 60-40, I say, why you said 60-40, this, that, and the other? And they break it down. They tell you what's going on, this, that, and the other. Man, come on, man. You think people not, man, stop it. Stop it, man. Everybody want to know the plug. You know what I'm saying? You have to maintain integrity, man. And look, people going to say, well, how you know they ain't maintaining integrity? Because guess what? WCS is not putting out dates. I'm not telling you it's going to be exactly on this date announced, and it's going to be on this date here, and it's going to be at this venue, and then nothing ever comes out. If that shit would have been announced on the 4th of July, then I would have said, you know what? I was absolutely on the wrong side of my judgment. That shit was announced. All right, cool. That's what's up. And I would have spoke to my audience and say, hey, I was wrong on that shit. I guess it was announced, but I was real good. I was feeling real good that this fight won't be announced. I was feeling real good about it. And we don't need to tease people no more, man. We've been there, done that already. And it's just amazing how all of a sudden we was talking about Spence Crawford, right? That shit was heavy for a good 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden the focus is now on if Devin Haney's gonna fight Gervonta Davis. And who's the better, who's the more money, who's the PPV is, and does he have to fight Kambosos in a rematch? If he doesn't fight Kambosos, how did he get out of that? Will we see Gervonta Davis later on? No. Oh my God, man. It seemed like the only fighters that really pick up traction for the masses is black fighters. And that should be in turmoil to me, bro. Seriously, I just be listening to this shit. It's just you can't go on here every day and be all in because you're not able to listen to educational content every day. Like if you listen to certain channels, yeah, okay, those channels that give you that education. But a lot of channels that's focused on fighters who they in bed with, all right, they sold themselves out. They sold themselves out for. They're gonna continue to push narratives that they can't confirm. You know what I'm saying? And those narratives are strictly enforced in the direction of Terrence Bud Crawford all the fucking time. If you ask them, okay, what is Errol Spence asking? What does Errol Spence want to get guarantee money? What is this? It's always Terrence Crawford. He on this. He want that. He holding up. Now he's being investigated. Now he on first 48. Now he goddamn thinking about going skydiving. He ain't taking the main boxing serious. It's always something new, dog. What lie can I come up with next? The same old shit, bro. That's all. So we're gonna see if he's gonna come off and be reasonable. Because Errol Spence, look, when I say Errol Spence is not, sitting up here holding up the shit in a way that it's between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. There's Al Heyman in the picture, shawty. I'm gonna tell you, Al Heyman don't want him to take that risk. He take that risk with Terrence Bud Crawford and lose those belts. You think he's headed back to AT&T Stadium to fight who and when, where, and what? When is he heading back there? And who's gonna come see him? If he has the belts, he still is a huge commodity in Texas. You know what I'm saying? He's a huge commodity to step into that stadium and do numbers. But Terrence Crawford take those belts and vacate and move the fuck up to 54. What's gonna happen? Nobody wants to see you go collect belts all over again. And you said you was moving up to 54. From what I'm telling you, I don't think the plan at all is for him to move up to 54. I think they try to stall this out enough to frustrate Team Crawford because he ain't gonna try to waste his time with this fight and move, him go up to 54. Any other way they can get that WBO title. We'll see if either they're gonna fight or they're gonna have some type of delay because Errol Spence already fought. Terrence Crawford fought last November. So we're trying to wait and see who he's gonna fight in 22. They trying to stall him out and say, I'm gonna fight somebody else. Or I'm gonna move up to 54. Times are ticking. If he vacate that WBO belt and say, well, I guarantee you Spencer's gonna fight for that shit the next morning. He's still gonna have breakfast on his lips, dog. That man gonna come into the ring eating a bagel, getting them carbs in for energy. He gonna have that WBO title fight immediately. Unify that shit and defend those titles. They're gonna commit to stand at 147, bro. Because him moving up to 154 is gonna be treacherous. Treacherous, boy. That shit is gonna be treacherous. But man, appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. I ain't gonna stay in here too long. I just wanted to make it a point every now and then to let it be known when it comes down to this boxing game. Yeah, you can talk about the info all you want, put it out, but every now and then I'm gonna be on here and I'm gonna speak on it myself. Don't be mad personally. Don't get personal with it. It's just a response to the content that you made public. I was disappointed, dissatisfied, like a lot of us, that the fight wasn't announced July 4th. And all I'm saying is, if you're gonna say that shit, make sure the fight's gonna be announced July 4th if you're gonna stand on it. Don't lie to the people and then don't apologize for the shit. Don't sit up here and lie to us and don't apologize for it. If the shit wasn't announced, then you come back to your audience and say, I know everybody was anticipating the fight to be announced on July 4th, man. It didn't happen. You will earn more rapport with your audience instead of treating them just like super chat heroes. You know what I'm saying? You have to build a rapport of integrity and honest with some of these cats. You know what I'm saying? Let them know, man. I announced the news. Okay. I announced the news. I apologize for that shit. Sometimes, information changed, this, that, and the other. But the news wasn't announced. And somebody in chat gonna say, well, hey, do you have an idea when it's gonna be announced, period? Nah, I don't have no more information. And moving forward, if I do have any more information about exact dates, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till the date instead of goddamn sucking dry, leeching off the damn people for viewership. I'm gonna wait for the day it's announced and then I'm gonna speak on it. But hey, like I say, man, we look in this social media era, there's a lot of people that love being a part of a dysfunctional relationship, and these individuals love being lied to. I just can't do it, bro. Like it's some cats, some subscribers, they love being lied to on these channels. And then they come back over here repeating the same shit that they heard over there in the channels, man. And you be like, damn, like, come on, man, you smarter than this in real life. Chill. God damn, just wait till the fight is announced so we can talk about it. So we can hear the same bullshit over. Let's compare box recs. Let's compare styles. Let's compare where they from. Let's compare how long they've been in boxing. Let's compare their strengths. Then you see the title go up. Fighter breakdowns. This shit has been beat so much, man. There's nothing else to talk about. Nobody wants to hear about fighter predictions. Nobody wants to hear about fighter breakdowns. Because look, everybody's gonna mention the accident with SPENCE, and then his fans are gonna come over here and start crying and blowing snot bubbles and shit. Why are you doing that? That's in the past. No, it's the present. It's the present. When you have a fighter like Terrence Crawford who promotes the salubrity lifestyle and he dedicates himself to not smoking or drinking, by somebody who's been a part of that recreational activity that damn near cost them their life, it's always going to have an effect between these two people, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Always. You get people up here so much to the fact where they'll say, well, Errol Spence is just an all-around better fighter. And I don't even think Bud has just evolved the way Errol has. And I'm like, man, crack kills, don't it? I'm like, goddamn, crack kills. All those brain cells, crack is kill the shit. Somebody need to goddamn call a damn law enforcement and go arrest them. Crack. That motherfucking crack pipe. Because people up here just saying some dumb shit, dog. Funny how people who hate Crawford supposedly keep getting sources from Crawford's team. A bunch of clowns. Man, I know. Man, dude, you ain't never lied. They talk. Look, they be on Bomack's weight, right? They sit up here and denigrate the shit out of Bomack, man. All you hear is aspersions left to right. They talking about the man weight and all that. Yeah, but hey, I talked to someone close to Team Crawford. Like, dude, anybody close to Team Crawford that know what you said about a person that they fuck with, you think they're giving you legitimate information, man, that shit is wild. TJ, what's good? TJ Sports is on deck. He says Spence is a bigger draw. Crawford can't sell out a free dinner giveaway. You know, back in the day, maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, TJ, I would have laughed at that. But look, that was so stale. You know what I'm saying? That was so stale. I've heard it so much on the YouTube shit, man. I didn't even look, even when I'm talking about it, I can't even really laugh. You know what I'm saying? Even if I was trying to exaggerate, if I was trying to fake it, I can't. Come with new, better, conducive shit, man. Come on, work on your material, bro. Come on. I heard that shit already. And I think it was you that said it in somebody else's chat, bro. Come on, man. You got to bring something that's refreshing, bro. Not a free dinner giveaway. Come on, man. A free dinner giveaway? He couldn't sell out a free dinner giveaway. So what's free about it if you have to sell something? Oh my God. For sure, with the help of Jerry Jones, who you giving that bunk information to? I'm telling you, some of these people love dysfunctional relationships. Look, they want you abusing, bro. They want the abuse. Lie to me. Lie to me. All right. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. It's supposed to happen this week. What? Where they gonna fight at? They setting up a ring. They doing something totally new. You didn't hear from me. All right. Chill. You got it? All right. I don't want you to tell nobody. But from what I heard, 14th Street, it's this goddamn Walmart. They're gonna have to fight outside, man. So they can have more people come and just, really relate to the public, bring the community in. They're gonna have to fight in the back of Walmart, dog. What? No shit. God damn, I gotta go get me some gear, man. That shit gonna be live. Man, get the fuck out of here, dog. I'm ready for the Shields versus Marshall wave. It's not gonna be a wave, man. It's not gonna be a wave. You know why? Because it's women boxing. And it's not going to be as much because they can't really pull in Savannah Marshall. They can't pull her in for embracing her like that. You know what I'm saying? They know who Carissa is. They know what she's about to smoke. They know that. They know what she's accomplished. Both of these girls got the same record. But all Savannah Marshall has is one common opponent of Shields, and she has a win over her in the AMs, man. I mean, come on, man. She's really not that ticket seller when it comes to promo. TJ Sports, you wrote about Crawford's PPV numbers. He can't sell a funnel cake at a carnival, but that don't take away from his skills and a compliment as boxer. See, I didn't even laugh at that. He can't sell a funnel cake? What's going on, Shawty? Funnel cakes? I don't. Y'all must be on some shit today, dog. Hey, I agree. Shout out to Lala on deck. Stale and corny, goddammit. Both of y'all, IB and that other comment from TJ. Stale and corny as hell, man. Super corny. And come up with some shit to make a brother laugh, man. Funnel cakes and sell a free chicken. Man, come on, bro. Dion say, I'll check your message and post that up. Let me see what you're talking about. Shout out to Dion, man. He always dropping me info on Messenger. Y'all YouTube motherfuckers have made a lot of money off Errol Spence. Okay, let me post that up right quick. All right. See, Dion always coming through with the goddamn gems. But they probably gonna say, Dion, they're gonna be like, who you get that from, Willis? Let me send this to my email and I'm gonna post it up to y'all right quick. Let me go in here and get this. They listening? They absolutely listening over there. I'm gonna show y'all this tweet. Let me see. But see, if that would have been me though, let me bring this up that Dion just dropped to me and tell me if I ain't lying. Tell me if I ain't motherfucking lying, dog. For real, man. Look at this shit. When I talk about motherfuckers be posting bogus ass information. This is a tweet, right? Yeah, Errol Spence at the top, and random black guy said, y'all YouTube MFers has made a lot of money off Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. This shit is bad. Y'all post clickbait videos with fake inside sources or old footage. This shit is bad. With fake inside sources or old footage. This shit is ridiculous. Y'all need to tighten up. FR. Hey man, you know that whoever Spence, Spence replied to it up top. He said facts. But we still waiting. And we look at it like this. There is some clickbait ass channels out here that get mad when you respond. And then when you hear them speaking on you subliminally, you like, all you have to do is just show up and come over to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Or hit somebody in the DM and say, hey, I'd like to talk to you in the DM. We don't have to go live or nothing like that. I'm not even pressed to do that shit. All I'm saying is y'all put up clickbaits, question mark poses. Y'all be giving dates. Y'all be dropping information like shit's gonna happen. Y'all just continue to dangle and play with people's emotions over and over again. To that, you're becoming a narcissist. You act like you have control and you can actually pull the string whenever you feel like it. And you don't really care about how you making the person feel or anything. You just consider it to be boxing talk. That's what narcissists do. They feel that they're in control each and every time. So whenever you come on here, you can put anything and everything. It's going to draw people in. All you're looking for is the money, but you're not really concerned about the viewer that's tuned in and being disappointed, especially when you're putting dates out there. You put dates out there and the shit don't happen. It doesn't come to fruition. That's fucked up. I know TC and EJ in the gym training, but if it's sometime in October, they got to have enough time to do the city tours for promotion starting soon. We know that. We know that. It has to happen. We know that. That's if they're going to promote it like that. We have two sides of the coin there, Jay. They say this is the biggest fight in boxing. How many press tours do they have to do? One press tour and then have one more on fight week? Isn't that enough? Because if they're struggling to gather funds to appease both fighters, you think they're going to turn around and put all this money into several press tours and promote this fight? I don't know, man. Because they saying both fighters ain't sold shit. They say Terrence Crawford ain't sold shit. So how are they going to recoup their money? They're hoping and wishing off the back end. We got cats coming out here, talking about the money on the back end. The fighter, take low guarantee so they can get the money on the back end is because it's not taxable. So tell me this, dog. They said a fighter's taking low end guarantee is so because the money on the back end is not taxable, dog. So why don't the fighter just take $1 on the front so he can get the bulk load of his 99.5% on the back end? If fighters are not being taxed money on the back end, why are they still trying to get straight up guarantee money? And they saying that's taxable. So if you can explain that to me in the chat, please do. But appreciate that that drop there, Dion. Appreciate you, bro. The truth, not funny lies, are what people laugh at We know what's up with them Bud PPVs. See, I don't even look, that's not even a topic of discussion on Bud pay-per-views. Why should it be a discussion? Spence hasn't did no astronomical numbers when it come to PPVs. It's just people on the YouTube shit continue to send them blimps in the air and inflate them numbers every single day. Well, he did 410 with Mikey. They keep acting like Arrow is the one doing them. No. What do you mean Bud PPVs? These fighters are fighting with other fighters, man. It's not just their pay-per-views. It's who they in the ring with. These fighters are not shadow boxing. They're in the ring with an opponent. So how can it be just one fighter? All because it's in Texas. We know that not to be true, especially with Mikey Garcia, bro. We can't do that. We can't do that, bro. Jerry Jones can't front the money for the fight. Jerry Jones, man, has been on record as buying seats. Every promotion buys seats. That's what you try to tell these people. They allocate 40,000, right? You don't know how many damn tickets was comp tickets. You don't know. People want to look at it like it don't exist. It exists. I know this for a fact. On multiple fights, comp tickets exist. It exists, man. Stop trying to act like comp tickets isn't a thing. Yes, it's a thing. Certain people that attend those fights did not pay. They was given the tickets. Some people they had to pay for their tickets to get in those certain spots, and some celebs and certain other people, they want to pack the house in, get that star power. They get them tickets. We can't just continue to sit up here and act like Terrence Crawford fighting him. Bud is going in the ring by himself, and Errol Spence is going in the ring by himself. They're going in there with fighters, man. Every fight is not going to be on pay-per-view like that. And we should just sit back and understand that. We can't sit up here and say, well, what Bud's been able to accomplish, he still don't deserve this. Why? He's at the end of his career almost, just like Errol Spence. Why shouldn't they try to get that big bag on their way out the door? Why not? Get paid in full. Get paid in fucking full, dog. This is a real thing. Let me put that back up there. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence responded, facts. Y'all YouTube MFers have made a lot of money. Not me. Not me. Y'all YouTube MFers have made a lot of money off Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford. This is bad. Y'all post clickbait videos with fake inside sources or old footage. This shit is ridiculous. Y'all need to tighten up. Whoever wrote that, random black guy, man, he ain't lying on that. We do need to tighten up over here in the YouTube community. We do. But then, we live in the era where people always want to bring in First Amendments and I can say what the fuck I want to say. You can't stop me type of shit. I get it, bro. I understand why y'all just feel that y'all can just speak your mind and say what you want to say. But we are building an audience. We are building the confidence of people to subscribe to the channels. And when I look at information that you have spoken on enough topics, right? And these people are gravitating to your shit because they really want to continue to tune in, hopefully to find out information. Because look, some people that tune in, this may be the first place they hear the information because they're not boxing fans like that. You know what I'm saying? They might want to see a boxing event. They hear people talk about it, or they give them the live chat, but they're not really boxing heads like that. So this might be where they hear their information first. And then to find out the information is bullshit, it comes a time and a place, man. You got to have some integrity about yourself. Look, it doesn't have to be all about morals and principles, but goddamn, you got to have some integrity about yourself. You just coming, y'all be coming on here dropping damn clickbait, and y'all don't give a fuck about what the audience is thinking. Y'all be inserting shit into your words. Man, if I told you, man, come on, stop it. I'm not even gonna do it. Man, It's just too much out there for real. You can, man, it's just too many resources where you can record people's voices and what they say and all that shit. They actually talking about an incident that never even came close to happen. They talk about it as if they was told it's definitely gonna happen, and people get all hyped up, and then when the shit don't happen, they go on to another subject. Well, the rhino and the newly born deer, the gazelle, all of them was a big happy family, just all coincident. Well, what about that Terrence Crawford? And when I went out there, I said to myself, wow, what it would be like. They started talking about shit that's totally different than the topic. You said today that the fight was going to be announced, and you up here talking about molecules, nucleus, cells. You talk about biology up in this bitch, man. What the fuck is going on, man? Spencer Crawford, two brothers who deserve the most money they can get. Jerry Jones can't front the money. But realistic. It's realistic. Hey, man. Hey, it is what it is, man. This fight is gonna happen regardless. You know, if it happens in the virtual world or in real time, it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But the virtual world is tearing down the YTC. We need to do something about that. The virtual world is where this thought process continues to get caught up in the whirlwind of lies, deception, you know what I'm saying, false representation, just all of that shit just continue to just keep going round and round and round, bro. And then more contamination is out there. So you go out here and you listen to it, and that's more data that you're collecting. There's more debris in the middle of the damn the turbulence. It turns into a tornado, just got trash in it. Trash. I'm serious. All this trash is just spinning around that you hearing about this fight. It becomes debilitating. Some of y'all probably out there being depressed about this shit. You put all this effort into spending 8 hours on the channel, and you know off the back of your hand the shit that they say, and then when the date come up, you're disappointed it didn't happen. You goddamn go out there and drink a 12-pack, warm. You know what I'm saying? Like you playing with people's emotion on this YouTube shit. They're not gonna take us serious if we, channels keep putting out clickbait, man, and you just keep doing shit just for views. You first of all, you shouldn't be living off this YouTube as a primary source of income. Now, I'm not worried. I'm not pocket watching. I'm not going off other people's shit. But really, if you living off this YouTube shit as your primary source of income, then guess what? It all makes sense as to why some of y'all are out here putting out fake ass propaganda and agitprop like you are, because you chose to dedicate all your time and effort to YouTube. There's no way in hell. Because look, they want to talk about negotiating prices with Bud, and you look, y'all will sit up here and make a commitment to YouTube, who takes 30% off the rip. 30 off the rip, and you're talking about negotiation. Who did you negotiate to put in full-time work on YouTube? Who did you negotiate that with? Who did you negotiate? I know some people that get rich off YouTube, right? Well, once again, I must tell you, I need to be the bearer of news. It's not good news, bad news. I'm just telling you, let me be the bearer of news. If y'all continue to do what you're doing on this YouTube community when it comes to boxing, you're going to continue to be at your ceiling, and you're not going to be able to expand outside of it. You're not going to be able to grow and excel to an entity bigger than YouTube, so your audience can know, damn, I remember when they was doing this. It's not going to happen, because you got to have some type of credibility for somebody to place interest in you, no matter what it is. Some of y'all just create lives and get behind the mic. It's going to take more than that for you to get to that position, like the Boxing Voice is now. We can actually say the Boxing Voice was on here one time the same way we were. Now they're on a whole nother level. But they can't be on that level and be putting clickbait up there like that and putting out false narratives and continue to maintain their sponsorship. How are y'all gonna break through the ceiling? Those of you that want to put invested time and effort into YouTube, how are you gonna break past this shit? How, man? How are you gonna be bigger than YouTube? How are you gonna look back on this shit and you make your millions and say, you know what, I did the damn thing? Is it gonna be about lying? No. Because if you lie down here on this level, and let's say somebody pick you up, you can't lie anymore. You can't lie anymore because you're going to be dealing with some people that's all about the truth. They're going to have to tell you, hey, this is what we're going to talk about here. Boom, that's what it is. You're not going to be in bed with fighters. You're not going to be in bed with promotions. Now, you pick and choose the route you want to go. Because none of y'all cats out here that's putting out this fake news are going to breach outside. I don't care if you're on here the next 10 years, 15 years, if YouTube is still around doing this boxing shit, 10, 15 years, you're still not going to make it outside that ceiling so people can look up to you instead of looking at you. You know what I'm saying? They're looking at you right now like, what the fuck is going on? It's too much fake shit out here. So what's your itinerary? And you know, how are you going to breach this YouTube ceiling? How are you going to breach? And I'm not at the ceiling. I'm chilling. You know, I levitate every now and then. I take my ass on the ground. I goddamn walk the fuck away, do what the hell I'm supposed to do. I'm not sitting here all the time. I'm just being honest. Like, what's your game plan when it comes to this fake news of boxers? How do you plan on levitating into a whole nother atmosphere of media? You're gonna get on here for the next 5 or 10 years telling lies? You're gonna grow old. You're gonna be in a motherfucking home. You're gonna pop a blood vessel, dog. How is that gonna work out for you? What is your itinerary? What is your what does your spreadsheet look like? Let's just say you have 40,000 and you have a forecast of 5 years. Okay, you put your forecast out 5 years. You have 40,000 subscribers. How are you supposed to enhance that organically so that more people can give you and support you money? Do you have a team so you can get those exterior sponsorships to support y'all so y'all can kind of raise your level of viewership, not just on the YouTube community, but through sponsorship where you can start having individuals talk about, putting you in the office? Are you going to be in your home for the next 5 or 10 years doing YouTube videos? That's to all y'all cats who do it. I mean, what is the game plan? That's all I'm asking, man. This is in all genuine. I'm being genuine. Like, what is the spreadsheet? How are you gonna go from 40 to 140? If you can get to 140 and it's gonna take you 15 years, I'm like, what? What is your scale to improve your subscribers so you can hit that $1 million status or those $100,000 status and do less work? You plan on getting to a point where you're gonna have a team? Are y'all gonna have individuals that basically create certain information for you, like thumbnails and video data? Be in control of your media to give you a more cleaner look. Alexander said that warm 12 pack. You caught that, huh? Armstrong on deck. What's good? I stopped listening to a lot of channels because of stuff like this. I didn't even know there was a date the fight was to be announced. Yeah, man. July 4th, man. I even said it on my channel. You know what I'm saying? I said, they said. I think the lies about the fight is why so many people are getting tired of the back and forth and the fight not happening. This was extremely frustrating to me is when the energy changed over, and all of a sudden, Devin Haney, who just fought, right? Devin Haney just picked up all the straps. And, shout out to Team Haney, especially Bill, because Bill is showing that the engine that he runs on, he has the type of fuel that he can keep going. He can keep going into those areas longer than most people. And I don't think it's diesel. I think it has something to do with jet fuel or something. I don't know. But he's able to, drive around these YouTube streets and pull up and go through it. One side may be arguments, and the other side you may see. Look, and this is the side that I like, right? And I'm gonna put it out there too, because it look, for me to give somebody else credit, it doesn't touch me in a bad way. I'm not that person. It doesn't cringe my heart. It doesn't make it brittle. But Bill was on BFTV, right? And you had 503 on there. You had Right Side. You had all these brothers on there, right? And they was up there just talking, and Bill was up there talking about shit that was going on. He was taking his shots. He was saying this, that, and the other. It was a very peaceful, calm situation. It was a very peaceful panel. You know what I'm saying? It was very productive in them communicating. All blacks on there now, my people, all communicating about boxing. You can understand you can hear what was going on, and you know what I'm saying, you can listen. It was just a very productive for him to come on there and stay as long as he did. It was very productive. You know what I'm saying? It was very productive live. But then, I see him on it's just all chaos and mayhem, dog. I'm like, so why should Bill Haney be even entertaining the chaos and mayhem? He may like to go into the fire like that. Because one thing people can't deny is that Devin has the belts now. So if they want to start talking about the same shit we already been through, I don't think a lot of these people was around for that. I don't know. But we already been through Bill Haney. When Batman was here, the shit was going on with Gary Russell and potentially Devin Haney. They talked about this shit for a week. And that's what I'm saying. Bill built for the motherfucking kill. He was on these channels day in and day out talking about that shit. And it might have been that they never dropped the date, because they never dropped that Gamboa date in November. They never dropped it. But the amount of publicity that Devin got was crazy. Now he's won the belts. And me, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I wouldn't be on this YouTube shit. But he might want to come over here and talk to the brothers. Real talk. Bill, he might just want to come over here and talk to the brothers because he got the shit already. Devin won the goddamn belts. It ain't shit you can tell him. And he'll tell you, it ain't nothing nobody can tell us. We did what we had to do. And you can't tell us shit. On to the next. Now people are like, oh shit, he capping. Devin, he has to fight Kambosos next. Are you gonna fight Gervonta Davis? I'm like, damn, he had a full freaking month, has he? He might have had a full month, just a little bit over a full month, to really sit back and relax and be undisputed, lightweight, world champion, and just, relish in the moment. But shout out to BFTV, man. The panel was very productive, and Bill was on there, and the brothers was in there just talking in the most peaceful goddamn manner I seen in a minute, talking about some shit that we want to happen. If they want Devin Haney to fight Gervonta Davis, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Because it seems like they're gonna fight in-house fighters. They're gonna fight who the fuck they want to fight, and they're gonna make the money, the type of money they want to make. Don't care what nobody else make. That's what it is right now with Gervonta. So I don't know how long they're gonna start talking about this, but the man just won his titles not too long ago, and now people trying to push him in the ring with Gervonta Davis. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't got shit else to prove it. Lightweight. I know a division, that he may attend in the future is 140. But right now, man, Before I was saying like, hey, get the belts and vacate them motherfuckers and move to 140. But yeah, guess what? If he's able to go back over to Australia and win the second fight, if he's able to go in there and win the second fight, then we can never forget the Lomachenko as the third man in this damn that Bob Aaron's been talking about. Lomachenko is still there. So his stock has went up from picking up the belts. He defeat Kambosos again, which a lot of people believe he will. You know, that shit was lopsided. So we're looking at it like it ain't nothing Kambosos can do to come in here and be better in the second fight. So he goes in there and pick up the damn dub, leave Australia, and he fights Lomachenko. That's gonna be the money that they want to make. They don't have to take no goddamn slave ass monetary reimbursement for their labor. You know what I'm saying? Being that this would be the third toughest fight on that contract, he'd be able to go in there, get paid well, and he go in there and defeat Lomachenko, which a lot of people believe he can defeat Lomachenko now, especially after the lopsided beating he put on Kambosos. It ain't gonna be shit you can tell the Haney's. It ain't shit you can tell them now, really. But I'm just saying they complete that Lomachenko trilogy. You know what I'm saying? The Aussie double and then the third fight with Lomachenko. It's gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be crazy. But shout out to them brothers over there, you know, fellowshipping and chopping it up sensibly. You feel me? Like I don't even stick around. I see, you know, certain people that's living in mansions and shit, arguing with people. Oh, man, I just leave. I say, man, fuck it, man. I ain't getting nothing out of this, man. I'm not. I stopped listening to a lot of channels because stuff like this. I think the lies about the fight is why so many people are getting tired of back and forth, fight not happening. I've always said I'm not confident the fight will happen. We got to be patient, but I knew it was going to be a Wilder versus Joshua 2.0 a long time ago. That's what it's looking like, man. Unfortunately, I hope you're wrong on that. I hope you're wrong on that. Now, Tank saying he don't need the belts and the belts don't matter. He said that before, though. He didn't just say that. He said that before. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to look at where he's going with it. Just look at Crawford, for instance. I'm not trying to like bring Crawford into this equation with Gervonta Davis, but they're basically saying just because who Crawford fought and Julius Ndongo, the belts don't matter. And they do. They do. That's going to help him get into the Hall of Fame. All the belts matter. You know what I'm saying? All belts matter. They matter. If you listen to my James Toney interview, James Toney told me, he said, I count all my titles. I count all my titles. Not just the ones that people want to recognize as the real title. I count all my titles that I got. That's what I do. I count all of them. So if the plan is for Mayweather and Gervonta to continue to fight the fights they're doing and getting the knockouts, y'all have to understand that the belts don't matter. If he's selling out arenas and he has that secondary WBA regular title and he continue to go in there and put on show-stopping performances, the belts don't matter to them because people going to come out and see Tank perform. He has that dynamic. Tank has that it factor. People are up here turning on Tank. Look, you got people turning on Tank because they believe he re-signed with Floyd, right? Now people getting all living vicariously through fighters, right? They think he signed back up with Mayweather, right? And then they think he ain't trying to fight for no titles and fight better competition. Look how young Devin Haney is, and he went over there and did what he did, and they already on his neck about fighting Gervonta. So why in the hell should Gervonta go up here and fight better competition when these people are going to push you to another name and another name and another name? They ain't going to never be satisfied till you take the L, man. They're not going to be satisfied till you take the L. When you take the L, it's almost like, welcome home. Welcome, you finally lost. Welcome home. Come on in. We got some hot porridge for you right here with some and freshly made biscuits. Sit down. Let's talk about this loss. Now, Tank saying, oh my God, dog. It's not just the suits either. This era of fighters are super sissified as well. That I would not put on fighters. I understand where you're going with it, but me, Napoleon, I couldn't sit up there and encapsulate the fighters as being sissified. Because if you take some of these lower tier fighters, they can still get in there and whoop the average person's ass. So I'm definitely wouldn't say, encompassing the fighters to this day and era as being sissified. Nah, I'm not gonna do that because they take punishment too. And a lot of them fighters, just because they cannot go to an elite level, it's not that easy, bro. I got a fighter right now down here in the A that's 23-0 and with the well-known manager, and he's not even fighting on TV. It's some other shit going on. You can't tell me boxing is easy. You can't tell me boxing is easy. Bill be making me laugh. I haven't heard him in a while though. Yeah, he's making his rounds though, man. He's built for this type of interaction. You can't be a frail individual and come out here and be on the panel. You have the look, you have the lifestyle. You are part of the hurt business and you have the lifestyle. Certain people, they want to be a part of what you have going on. And that only comes when Bill shows up on the panel. Because I don't see all these individuals breaking bread. I'm waiting for that picture so I can see a long table and I see some of these YouTube channels. That's when you have made it. When he said, hey, I want to invite 4 or 5 of y'all and a good brother, I just want to say I'm gonna invite you to the mansion so we can sit there and just talks like brothers. When that happened, when I see that picture, I come on here and say that's what I'm talking about. But till then, is you just get the Bill who shows up on the live. And I just thought that one the other day was very productive. And shout out to BF for being able to moderate the shit with some good content, some good questions. It wasn't no over talking this and over every brother was just goddamn just chilling. It was the mood was good, it was carefree, and they was talking about boxing, man. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I totally saw this coming. If belts didn't matter, they wouldn't inflate Manny Pacquiao as an 8th division world champion, and that's wrong. Yeah, true words. True words, Dion. If belts didn't matter, how the fuck goddamn Manny Pacquiao is an 8th division champion? How the hell Manny Serrano's a 7th division champion? You know what I'm saying? How do you have Vander Holyfield, multi-time heavyweight champion? How? If belts don't matter. How is Naoya Inoue? If belts don't matter. How is he on the top pound for pound list? His competition? Come on, stop it. Belts have to matter. We can't pick and choose what divisions matter and which don't. Belts matter. Stop the madness. Belts freaking matter. If belts didn't matter, they wouldn't have showed the undisputed title holders in this era. They wouldn't have shown them, man. And check this out. They didn't even put the franchise title holders up there till Devin Haney won the titles, man. Look, what they were supposed to do, real talk, they were supposed to put Devin Haney up there with the Alexander Usys, Canelos, Jermaine Taylors, Terrence Crawfords, B-Hop. You know what I'm saying? They were supposed to put all them, Jamel Charlo, Josh Taylor. Devin Haney was supposed to go there because that's a 4-belt era. Internal to his collection, he has the 4 belts. He's supposed to go in there solo dolo to join those people, not Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos, because they can go on there with the franchise era whenever they choose to recognize that. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't have just convoluted it and said, we're going to flood it and put Teofimo and George Kambosos on there now, along with Devin. They kind of took away Devin's shine by doing that. He should have went on there solo dolo. Just like Jamel Charlo went on there, Devin should have did, because he actually has all the titles of the 4-belt era. No one would have been concerned about no franchise. But like I told y'all, the people don't want to listen. I say the franchise is going to be counted. No. What do we see? I told them when I was saying that Teofimo was undisputed, they didn't want to goddamn take heed to it. And what happened? They put the motherfuckers up there and then they took them down. But they showed millions. They showed millions of people. Oh yeah, this is this, and this. And then somebody probably got in their ear like, hey, they didn't have the belts that Devin had, da. They should have put them up there on that day solo with all the rest of the 4-belt era champions. W says this era, if fighters surely not like past eras. For example, Charlo couldn't understand what Tyson was telling him. They want max dollars for easy work over career, in my opinion. Man, hey, Armstrong, you're absolutely right, bro. You absolutely right. You are absolutely hammered to the nail. Mike Tyson was attempting to explain, and this way it becomes it can be very misunderstood if you say this the wrong way. Mike Tyson was trying to explain to the brother on how to break bread with another brother, especially if both of y'all have made it up to that point. Y'all have made it up to a point of star, being a superstar in boxing. So now that you understand how that all goes, break bread together and make more money and laugh about it. He was trying to explain, say, if that's your brother, you break bread with your brother. They wasn't fucking having it. And then when he was trying to explain to Jamal Charlo about calling out the names and freaking fighting David Benavidez, you have to understand, your brother is still surviving. Your brother took a loss against Tony Harrison, bro. He took a loss against Tony Harrison and came back to become undisputed. You're sitting up here talking about, oh, I don't want to get him no clout. Come on, man. Stop with the clout bullshit, brothers. That fight will get you some money, man. It's going to be a tough ass fight, but it'll get you some good money. Because you like money, right? Okay. You like to buy more material shit, right? Okay. Go up to 68 and stop saying you're going to come down to 54 to fight Crawford. Man, come on, Maul. You better than this shit. I don't know, man. Like, people tell me all the time, like I always bring up how Errol Spence and, co-signed with Jerry Jones, why he didn't co-sign on the Twins. He said, man, they ain't like that. People ain't looking at them like that over there. And that's truth, man. They're not. But you can't take away Jamel Charlo. But like I said before, I put it out there. I'm the only one to put it out there. I put the shit out there before Mike Tyson put it out there. I said that Errol Spence and Jamel Charlo, if they can't get this fight with Crawford, all they have to do, because they're already training in separate locations, periods in fight camp. Real talk. Jamel Charlo be up there with his brother, with Jose Guzman, and Errol Spence be with DJ and whoever else he with, right? I said Errol Spence should move up and fight Jamel Charlo, make millions, have a rematch clause in there. Jamel Charlo's already taken the L. You take your second L in this part of your career, it means nothing. It means nothing when you're going to get the belts back. But brothers cannot sit up here and plan some shit like that. Both of them would have benefited. Errol picking up his second division and Mel Charlo picking up another set of belts, two-time undisputed champion at 154, the only one to ever do it. And you trying to tell me you couldn't make money off that? Mike Tyson was trying to tell you, you want to eat with your brother? You want to eat with your brother? Come on, listen to what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, you got your brother and you came this far. You want to eat with your brother. Nah. Man, come on, bro. They don't understand. They're not mature enough to understand, bro. Go toward the smoke and test your sword. Unfortunately, that's when all the BS usually starts. Fighting your prime. 1, 2, 3. No excuses if you chose this profession. Hey, Armstrong coming with the heat, man. Torch lit. I get it. Goddamn, 4th of July, 5th and 6th. Shout out to goddamn Napoleon Armstrong in here with the motherfucking torches. For real, the flamethrowers. All humans deal with fear, so it's always a factor to calculate some of these pros are Bruce Seldon in the heart. Well, at least Bruce Seldon stepped in there. All right? You got to give Bruce Seldon a little space, you know what I'm saying, to give him credit for stepping in there until he felt the wind of that punch and he chose to take a dive. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't even take a good dive. The pool didn't even have water in it, goddammit. This dude couldn't even wait for the opportune time for them to fill up the pool, put the diving board on there, test it, make sure everything looked the part. He had to go up there and fuck it up. The punch didn't even freaking land. I mean, the worst set of acting. The worst set of acting. Even Michael Spence went in there and took the ass whooping. Buster Douglas went in there and took the ass whooping, came off the canvas and finished it. Man, these cats ain't, man, come on, man. Mike Tyson was trying to tell this dude, call his name. Call their name. No, man, it's clout chasing, man. That's clout chasing. Oh, why don't you fight Errol Spence? No, we from the same hood, right? What? What? You from the same hood? So in all these songs, them cats from the same hood be talking about making money together. They be talking about making money together. I guess that don't include boxing, right? Y'all ain't trying to make money together. You just want to watch other people make money, and then you say, "Oh, okay, good on you. You did what you had to do. Good on you. That's what's up." But man, y'all been great, man. Appreciate y'all. I actually got to go see a boxer tonight, man. It's a boxer that's down here. That's gonna be fighting on TV soon. I'm going to see where they at to do an interview, if it's possible, you know. And see, this is not even a fighter that's like big time, like people that you fuck with, that's a part of certain things. They come into your town, they hit you up, hey man, so and so's gonna be there. We're gonna stop this place and that place. This is shit that goes on behind the scene, man. You support these motherfucking fighters, dog, whether they done made it to the top or not. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Teen Williams, man. That's family as always. It don't matter. He look, always remember he's 20-1 now. Always remember. Don't let me do a live. Hey, matter of fact, that's what I said I was gonna do. It just came back on me. I'm gonna do a live on some of the worst records in boxing. And show you how they used to get down back then. Like these cats was fighting over and over and over and over and over again, man. They was always on the scene. I ran in some of these fighters that have crazy amount of professional fights. Like I told before, I know a fighter right now. I knew him before his debut when his record was super clean, squeaky, look, untouched, unblemished. He's 0-17 right now. 0-17. It's not like he can't win a fight. He's basically chosen to be the opponent. 0-17, and he continued to get fights. 0-17, man. Shout out to him, man. He's a cool cat though. He knew I knew him before he even started his first professional fight, and he ain't won a fight since. You know what I'm saying? But I don't go there and dog him out. Shoot, we chop it up, whatever, and we keep it moving. Jason Williams, what's good? Bruce would not have gotten his check fucking with me. I believe it, dog. Bruce, can I holler at you for a second? You better have some motherfucking backup. Just because he took a dive against Tyson don't mean he want to try to put them hands on you now. Bruce can fight now. I don't know what fight background you got. You're like, Bruce, what the fuck? What are you talking about? He didn't even touch you. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. No, he did. You're not going to put that stamp on me. Bruce would be adamant. You're trying to take my money. That's what you're not going to do. That's what you're not going to do. I work hard in this sport. I say he hit me. I'm saying he didn't, Bruce. Fuck you. That should be wild, dog. How dare you question my integrity as a fighter? The blood and sweat I put into this sport. He hit me. You want to look at the tape? No, the fuck I don't. Bobby on deck. What's good? Devin Haney has all the belts. Tank has to fight Devin, or he cannot be a champion. Tank is Devin's mandatory. But Tank and Mayweather will price themselves out on purpose. A lot of what you said, man, can happen. But a mandatory doesn't even matter unless they want to activate the fight Devin Haney, unless they feel the need to say, okay, I'm enforcing my mandatory. That's one. All right. Then, you're talking about them pricing themselves out. I mentioned this before, how Devin might come up there with all those belts, but Tank is still going to be the A side. Why? Because you're dealing with the Mayweathers, man. You're dealing with Mayweather. You can come up there with all those belts, but at the end of the day, they're going to say Tank is pay-per-view. How many has Devin sold? He's making money on pay-per-view. How many has Devin sold? That's their attitude. That's going to be Floyd behind that shit. You ain't running no game on Floyd. You ain't none of that shit, dog. Floyd was sending y'all a clear message. I'm still a role player in this game. It doesn't matter if I don't lace up and I'm fighting in sanctioning bouts. I am a legitimate role player. I am a shot caller in this business, and you ain't gonna just goddamn make shit happen around me. That's pretty much what he was saying. So if Tank can be mandatory all day, but guess what? If he don't enforce it, it doesn't matter. It means absolutely nothing. Emmanuel Augustus Burton was a great fighter with an ugly record. One of my favorites. Yeah, man, I love seeing Emmanuel hop off his back foot and land some crazy shots. And once he landed, he didn't even, he just went back in the rhythm, kept on dancing with it, man. He took a lot of punishment, too. Ended up getting shot in the head, I think, didn't he? He's still alive, though, but Mayweather's a boxer. He knows Tank won't win. I mean, Mayweather's all about the money aspect on. They're making a lot of money or whatever off Tank. For real, Armstrong, you'd be like, oh, you want to throw hands outside the ropes, huh? Might be like, hey, leave him alone. I understand. I did hit him. To be honest, I did hit him. But you have to do better. If you're gonna throw the fight, you have to wait till the punch lands. You can't do that. You over theatrical and all that. Man, come on, man. You make me look bad, man. You make me look bad. All right, Mike. But it ain't gonna be no next time. You understand? We're not fighting again. Fuck it. We gave Mike your check. Go holler at him. Shit. Well, you would have had death on your motherfucking hands, dog. Shit, you would say, hey, man, Mike got your check. Mike, did you have a check? Yes, I do. Come here. We have to talk. I got your check here. But man, I got to bounce, man. Hey, y'all been great. Appreciate y'all pulling up, man. Hit the like button for me on your way out the door, man. Turn up and tune in the world.